Hey, so in this video I'll be talking about Season 4, Episode 11 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Easter eggs and predictions, so beware of spoilers if you have not caught up. So I'll be jumping around throughout this episode, but the first thing I actually want to talk about is Coulson's comment to Talbot about being the odd couple. It's nothing important, but there's actually someone actually created a mashup between Coulson and Talbot's scenes with the Odd Couple a theme song. So I'll link that down below if you actually want to watch it. But yeah, when Simmons actually enters her room and actually sees Fitz talk to him and everything like that, in the background you actually see two pictures of them, and one of them is actually the picture that they took in Peru of season 1 of Agent of the show of season in episode 2, and I don't know the second picture. If you could actually make out what the picture was, but it was too blurry for me to actually see what it was. But I could tell what the first picture was the one from Peru. They gave a reference to Deathlock and how Radcliffe had the technology of his eye and all that kind of stuff. And is it possible that this reference is actually giving a hint to his reappearance this season? We are dealing with robots and stuff like that, and he's a cyborg, and they already referenced Koenig's a couple episodes ago. They're returning, and I have kind of a theory about that. I don't think they're LMDs like a long time fans were gonna be. It's possible that they're clones, it's possible that they're clones, and the real Eric Koenig was actually Eric Koenig was the real person, because he's the comic book person, the actual comic book character, but the other people we met so far, Billy and Sam, aren't from the comics. So it's possible that the clones created from their sister. But anyway, we get references from about Saint Agnes Orphanage, how Daisy's time was being spent there. We get to go back to Bahrain, which Radcliffe is just mean to do that to May. But I'm assuming that they're gonna have it's gonna be like a alternate reality where I don't think it's gonna be on a repeat like we've seen in the other two scenarios. I think it's possible that they're gonna have a nicer outcome to it and actually have a continued life in this virtual reality, and have maybe Andrew return and see how their marriage actually works out this time. So I want to see how that goes. We also get a reference to Sokovia. The Sokovia Accords have been a big deal throughout the season, and I don't think I've actually asked for this, but would you sign the Sokovia Accords? I know I wouldn't. I just think it's a bad idea. We get references to Turtle Man, Yo-Yo's nickname for Mac, Talbot's son being kidnapped in Taiwan, and from season 3 episode 12, and how Radcliffe joined Hive, and what's called Fitz actually has a reference to the pattern that has been emerging, which it is pretty much a pattern at this point. First, Ward actually turns on him. That was his brother. Then Mac turns on Fitz, his friend, since Simmons left and wasn't around him as much, and now Radcliffe, his father figure. And since Mac was able to turn good, and we already know this Darkhold is corrupted Radcliffe in a way, and it's possible that he can be fixed and actually become good again. Because he doesn't want to hurt anyone, he doesn't want to kill anyone, so he's a good guy. He's just corrupted in a way, and he could be fixed. And we get more information about Daisy's Daisy's vigilante time, and she stole at least $7 million from the Watchdogs banks and everything like that. And I'm assuming the way that she was like phrasing it was that she gave the $7 million to Charles's family from season 3, and like at the end of season 3, we find out that she helped Charles's family uh, find a new home and gave them money and all that kind of stuff. So it's possible that they gave the $7 million right to his family. And talking about stealing, how much has Radcliffe stolen by now from the Shield base? Like, first, I'm assuming that he stole the virtual reality simulator from Fitz and Simmons, and we find out in this episode that Nadir had access to the Shield bomb that killed it was called Malloc or Gideon last season. So I'm assuming that was uh, because of Radcliffe's doing. But in talking about Radcliffe, I was really wrong about Fitz being the LMD, so it was Radcliffe. So I was really shocked about that. Uh, but anyway, for prediction. Oh, actually, there was one more. It wasn't really like, it was more of a nod to it. I'm assuming. I don't know if it was intentional, but when Ada was actually attacking May, she used a like a silver spear spike thing that came off the wall, and it reminded me of the T-2000s from Terminator 2. Just, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but it just felt like it was. So yeah, for predictions, a lot of people are assuming that the Superior is actually someone from Shield's past, which it's not. Sorry to spoil that for you, but it is a new character, like an actor. It could be actually. I actually still believe this storyline is going to be a variation of the Astonishing X-Men miniseries, where an alien was the head, basically the head of the boss of people and whatnot. So, like, since we already know that the Kree hate the Inhumans, it most likely would be the Kree in disguise, because we already know that they can turn themselves into looking like humans. So, Kree. It would be fun if it was actually an Asgardian, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. It's possible that there's a character in the comics called Nitro, and it was a big deal about he was a big deal in the Civil War comics, as far as I believe. And the only reason I bring him up is because in a new synopsis coming up for an upcoming episode, there's a character that is an Inhuman that has exploding powers, and this character, the actor Zach McGowan, who's playing the Superior, looks similar to Nitro, and people are wondering why I thought that an Inhuman would actually want to kill another Inhuman. Just basically, my examples are Hellfire is an Inhuman who wants to kill other Inhumans, and Senator Nadir killed her own brother, who is an Inhuman that is most likely also an Inhuman herself. So why not have the Superior be an Inhuman? But a big theory could possibly be Artem Zola, because like last episode, they were dealing with ex-Hydra agents working with Senator Nadir, and having dealing with like probability and all that kind of stuff. And that, what came to mind was Artem Zola's algorithm from the Winter Soldier, which predicted the future threats and all that kind of stuff. So it feels similar to what's happening in this show, in the last episode. And since we're dealing with robots and all that stuff, it's possible that Artem Zola actually created a real looking robot that he's just control of, and in the comics he does have like a robot like like body, just not a human looking body as far as I know. So it's possible that they just replace the human looking, the robot looking thing to just a human looking thing, so it's easier to put on screen. Uh, and talking about robots and stuff like that, or actually Senator Nadir, I don't know why I never thought of this beforehand, but personally, it's gonna be a bad scenario once then Senator Nadir gets her hands on the Darkhold, if and when she does get it, or it could be the Superior who gets it. But uh, I I can only imagine her like summoning a demon or something like that to like wipe out all the Inhumans. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that's what I can think of what's gonna happen. But uh, this LMD storyline feels similar to what happened with the Dum Dum Dugan LMD in the comics. I forget which I forget what story like what comic version it was, but he never knew what he never knew he was an LMD, and he was mad and all that stuff once he found out. Which this LMD May is actually mad. So it's and it ends in a way that he actually commits he basically kills himself. So it's possible that they're gonna do a variation of that and have LMD May sacrifice herself, since that's what her purpose is for the team, and end her arc. But I personally do not want that to happen. I actually want I actually kind of want there to be two Mays walking around, walking and talking and doing their own thing. They could wipe the lovey-dovey part of May out of the LMD, and just give the opportunity for the LMD to actually be Mace's SO. I think the last video, I think I said I wanted May to be Mace's SO, but it would be fun to actually have Mace Mace being trained by the LMD, just for fun. But in every episode, I've been every episode I've been having trust issues with Ada. Like, I've been trusting Ada less and less that she's actually being controlled by Radcliffe. I honestly think somehow she did get a control of her own programming and is doing everything on her own and she's just tricking Radcliffe. The only reason I'm saying this is because we find out how May is actually May's memories got into the LMD, and I assumed it was because of Ada's brain that she created. But we find out that's not how it happened. So where did that Ada's brain, the brain that Ada created, gone? I'm assuming she put it in herself, and now she has full control of her body. So comment down below what you thought of this episode, and if I missed any Easter eggs or predictions, and like Easter eggs and references, and what you want to see in the future. See ya.